Welcome back to From the Pit, where we cover everything from Westward Expansion beatdown fiddle to Depressionist era sludge and brass.
The fuck? Yeah, we do.
In this week's news...
Were you in a World Civ class this week?
I thought they were funny.
Fiddle what?
So this week in Brutal News, it really joys me to tell you guys that JNCO's back.
I bet it does joy you.
That means, you know what's good about this?
Nothing.
Sneaking stuff into movie theaters.
That's
so much easier. Yeah, like, don't you remember getting like
2 liter?
Yeah, just right there at my knees.
My little brother.
I'm not spending $70 to buy back my virginity. All right, it's just not happening.
Come on, man! You gotta buy your JNCO jeans, then you can go into fucking Sam Goody's and steal the new Coal Chamber album.
The main.
Is that what white kids were doing? Is that what y'all were doing in Sam Goody?
I wasn't.
You still look in there.
The main question is, do all of their jeans have still have a dragon with like an 8-ball or a skull?
I looked very briefly. My excitement could barely be contained.
You pre-ordered, didn't you?
I might be on the
mailing list.
Kickstart.
You took out a fucking loan. $500 worth of fucking JNCO jeans.
Now in
more metal news.
Yes, Arch Enemy actually performed with their original vocalist.
How about that shit?
Johan Ilvis. Yes.
Apparently, those things that like
I couldn't say it even if I knew what it was.
Apparently, like Maggotmouth, the one guitarist, like kind of caught him up. He's like, "Yo, it's kind of getting on like 20 years. You want to for fun, for, like fans?" He's like,
"It's about that time in our career."
Yeah.
Has it been that fucking long?
Apparently.
Oh my god.
So just to be clear, this happened already. I mean, if that's something you're trying to see, I guess look it up online.
Yes.
In not so great news, Gary Miller, better known as Dr. No, the guitarist for Bad Brains, is in the hospital and on life support.
And that's scary.
Don't know anything else. They haven't released any specific details. It's just stuff. I mean, he's a young dude. I think he's like 52.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're getting there.
They're getting there, but it's weird to think about. But yeah, no, he's that's still way too young.
He looks like he's in good health.
You know,
pictures of the hospital. I mean, well, other than whatever the hell's going on.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like sickly.
Mm-hmm.
So keep the PMA. If religion is your thing, send your prayers that way. Positive vibes, however the fuck you want to look at it. But
if religion isn't your way, maybe send them money. I don't know.
Praise Jah, whatever it is you have to do.
No.
But yeah, it's a real shame. I mean, a lot of us owe the entire scene we love to that guy. So. Here's hoping it gets better soon.
For real.
So what else we got?
Got metal for children.
Hevisaurus. I don't know how none of us. I mean, it kind of completely flew under the radar, and they've got like 7 albums.
I know.
Apparently they sell.
Jeez.
It's okay. Imagine Barney. Oh, people dressed up in dinosaur costumes. And instead of playing those really lame songs for kids,
he's
get some.
I like to
rocking.
I like to think that the production value on the dinosaur costumes are above Barney.
They're closer to the production value of the show Dinosaurs.
Yes, I was just gonna say.
But so Finland believes in giving kids metal.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Sounds almost like Gwar, but
considering like Finland's history with metal, this is kind of surprising that this would be so accepted.
Yeah, you can't beat them. You gotta join.
Yeah,
but
their description of how they were formed was fascinating. Talking about a 65 million year old metallic egg
on top of a mountain,
getting struck by lightning.
Yes.
And instead of going around being a terrorizing beast eating flesh, they decide to eat cookies, drink milk, and stay in school.
Yes. They kick ass.
Hey, awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So as far as costumes go, Tool had apparently dressed up as Led Zepplin to cover No Quarter.
This is awesome.
Led Zeppelin.
Which is, yeah.
I love Led Zeppelin.
That's
I
really
think we
cool.
all like grew up listening to it just because of our dads.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, supposedly, and it hasn't been confirmed, people are saying they may or may not have played part of a new song during the performance. There's video up now, but no one's really sure what to make of that particular segment of it. But here's to hoping it means that they're closer to being finished. The new album, it's new Tool album coming 2030. Speaking of tragic things, there was a fire at a nightclub in Romania. Something like 180 injured, 27 killed during Goodbye to Gravity's record release show.
The government resigned.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
The government resigned because of that.
Wow.
Yeah. Shit. What was I gonna say?
Their whole government resigned.
Yeah, we're just
this?
receiving
I don't-
information
This just
from the headroom somewhere.
Look into it. I mean, other than the tragedy of the victims and the fallen, apparently this is a lot more
This is
catastrophic than
There's a certain
God
irony.
taking his wrath out on metalheads, I guess.
There's a certain irony in the fact that the song that they were playing when the fire ignited was called "The Day That We Died."
Yep.
Something along those lines.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what happens when you've got unchecked pyrotechnics in your stage show.
Mm-hmm.
Not the first
Where
time
was
we've
this,
seen it
Romania?
happen. Yeah.
Highest the quality.
So
whatever.
it's a shame. Hopefully, everyone learns their lesson from this and does shit to regulation in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One more bit of kind of sad news, but not so much. After minor injuries, Born of Osiris' guitarist broke his foot. They're back on tour with Guar.
Now, I think you said this earlier, but why stop your whole tour because your guitar player?
We don't know the deets. He could have.
yeah.
He could have.
Well, no, what? It might have been. Now think about it. It might have been like a pause for like a few days to get it casted and whatnot,
Right,
and then go
If
back
they're on
to
one of those real, ball breaking tours, they're going to be like not available to go to the hospital.
I wonder how many tour dates did they miss exactly? It's probably
Meh, conjecture.
yeah,
They're back on the road.
true.
I mean, I ran on my broken toes.
Yeah, watch that. So, hot off the press.
Mm-hmm.
Haunted Shores, featuring members from Periphery.
Yep.
Released Viscera last night at midnight. Well, no. So it's going to be like a few days ago. November 3rd at midnight. So that's out.
Yeah, like listen to it.
Yeah. Haunted Shores are
Surprised I
sweet.
haven't.
They shred.
Oh, speaking of awesome shit being released, we've also got the 30th anniversary release of Spreading the Disease coming up. Which, fucking Anthrax.
Anthrax also has announced that they're going to release For All Kings in February.
Yeah.
So
Oh, right, yeah.
So some new shit coming from one of the big four, who haven't sullied their name by being total dickheads yet.
Yep.
I believe there's actually something meant to. I believe Over pretty soon is going to be releasing a double album. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, that caught my eye, but I'm pretty sure it's not set in stone like dates or anything.
Okay.
So I have to research it.
So here goes another guy that's been kind of working in this mega group that we'll talk about in a few minutes. But Intronaut also released The Direction of Last Things. He's going to be a guy that we're going to talk about from Mestis. I don't know if they have any involvement with Haunted Shores, but it seems like these guys are tight.
Word.
I mean, they're
They're
obviously exceptional musicians.
The math community seems to really be tight because there really aren't
The Genty math.
The Genty math, yeah.
The better curve of the Genty
Yeah.
math guys.
Misha, Mansour, and Tosin Abasi famously wrote Animals as Leaders, his first album together. So
Right. So, we've also got Mammoth Storm, released November 6th. The CD is called Fornjot. Or Fornjot.
Fornjot. It's very
It's always
not
weird
English.
when you have a lot of consonants next to each
So,
other.
Yeah.
since these guys
Just
are your
letters.
guys, you want to roll through Mestis?
Mestis, their album is actually streaming now, today.
Yep.
Yes.
Released
Check that out.
the 6th.
Mestis is, we talked about them before, they're a super group with members of Animals as leaders.
Intronaut. Marvin Gaye's trombonist.
That's right. I'm sorry.
We listened to a few tracks
yeah.
off of it, and I really hope that album starts getting better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's good, but I haven't heard any brass yet off the first 2 tracks.
Okay. We give it time, man. First 2 tracks.
Check it out.
Yeah,
'Cause-
check it out. Mestis is nothing but potential.
I didn't know
Yes.
the whole thing was streaming yet. I'm gonna have to do that when I get home tonight.
I'm hoping there's a specific portion that like there was a transition.
Solo.
The first song was a little rough.
There's an abrupt transition.
Oh,
I
It
didn't
sound-
hate it. Frank didn't like it.
I mean, I need to listen to it. I
Listen,
haven't.
yeah, we'll talk. Maybe we'll talk about this next week.
Who knows?
So, it's that time.
Ooh.
Time to get weird and start arguing with each other.
Yep.
Our feature topic this week: if you had to choose between overmixed or undermixed, what would that be?
And this is to clarify. That was all you would hear. I mean, I'd say it's for every album, even albums that you already love. If they were already well produced, they would now be underproduced or
Vice
overproduced.
versa.
Yeah. So, if you had to go with one for the rest of your life, hearing everything underproduced or everything overproduced, you'll never get that nice in between again.
See,
And I don't think we're necessarily saying everything has to be black metal production.
Yeah.
But it is absolutely not like AAA, like,
Yeah.
beat matching and shit.
I'm all about the underproduced. That's just, I feel it has a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Warmth.
There's warmth. It's real sounding. I can't tell you how annoyed I am anytime I'm throwing an album and you hear that like clicking double bass.
Yep.
That everyone does now. I'm like, why?
That's what you got. Not so much on the most recent Cryptopsy album, but the one before that was very. Yeah.
That
Or no, maybe who am I thinking of? I don't know. Never mind. Ignore that statement. It was some band though.
and I'm just a fan of underproduced anyway. If I listen to say something like Cradle of Filth, I look at their earlier albums, which were much more underproduced.
See, I'm on the same boat with you. I grew up on so much punk and hardcore and early metal that was all underproduced, and I'm okay with it.
It's raw.
See, like, I want to agree with you guys and jump on that bandwagon and say I'd like to go underproduced, but I'm going to have to say overproduced, just because I don't listen to strictly like metal and heavy music. I listen to Streetlight Manifesto, and it's like Streetlight Manifesto. If you didn't have the right leveling on the their horn sections, like a 4-piece, sometimes 5-piece horn section, that if you
can still get decent leveling
Yeah,
without
but I
being
mean, it's just- I
overproduced.
just-
I wouldn't say that. Catch-22
Yeah, that's
or
what I was about to
Streetlight is
say.
all that overproduced. I'd say that they're perfectly
they're in the middle ground.
clear, that you got a little feedback.
Not to mention, I mean, you're not the only one who listens to shit outside of metal.
I know.
Consider early Funkadelic or early Parliament.
Sounded really pretentious,
That was-
didn't it?
That was also relatively underproduced, and they had huge horn sections.
I love Record
You
Skip.
guys are always right.
I love Record Skip. I love The Chariot. I love Godspeed tapes. So, like, I want to agree with Ron.
I like to listen. I like the ability to like listen in and hone in on specific instruments in a mix and like stuff like that. And,
But, like, I
I
don't know.
don't know. Like,
The feedback.
I'm sure you can keep feedback
they-
in a well produced
I mean-
album. Just because it's well produced doesn't mean there isn't going to be any feedback. It's,
You've heard Black Label Society, right?
oh,
I kind of avoided that. I'll be honest. That was Zach Wilde's project?
Yeah. Yep.
No, I did not listen to that.
fuck off.
I'm sorry.
He's still a good guitarist.
He's a great
Just can't
guitarist, but
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like the best
Can't
squealer
write.
in the world, I guess.
He
But,
does really like those pinch harmonics.
Zach Wild aside, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. Part of me even feels like it'd be cool to hear some of the albums that, like how you were saying, like that are in lower quality, like some of the old Pantera, like albums and stuff like that, with higher definition.
Coheed's first album opens up with that like record skip.
Mm-hmm.
I know it by that.
Mm-hmm.
I love it for that. Like, I've been looking for VSTs for like writing music on the computer to add record skip to fuzz and like to make it more natural. Coming from a background of putting a few years into like recording digital music and working to get a more natural sound, makes me appreciate the CDs that I listened to back in the day, where they almost attacked it with the mindset, like the Chariot, record their albums live, all turned up, so you get the cross chatter, and it's like there's no dead space, and it's, I don't know, it's grittier.
Yeah.
Like Author and Punisher wouldn't be the same thing if it was like crisp.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm not against things that are well produced,
No,
but
not
there's
at all.
that certain point where it gets to
Overproduced.
Fake.
yeah,
Yeah.
like everything's been shaved off completely, and it's just as perfectly.
Look, I don't want to name drop, but the
Well-rounded.
easiest example for me is like Born of Osiris's last release. It's like
now, okay, so to what extreme are we going with the over under? Like
I said, not black metal bad, but I don't know. Like I was thinking for my own reference, like a Thrice album, where everything comes through.
Okay, like early. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'd.
Identity Crisis, Illusion of Safety.
Yep.
That was just enough.
because when I think over, I think like a Dream Theater album.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a
Yeah.
fair assessment.
They're at least
They're very robotically mixed.
They are very robotic mixed, but they at least don't. Some of like the, I guess like the kick samples or whatever
Yeah, no,
are not
Because
that
that's all
trashy.
real. Because that's
Meshuggah-
the kicks are all like everything they do is them. It's
What
real,
album
and I
was Leon?
love that.
Oh, I'm sure that was Obscene.
That song is technically like amazing and stellar and all that. Sorry. The Meshuggah album with Bleed on it is like, I think that's a really good example of where like bands would like to be, because you still got that like authentic feel, even though it's all decipherable and you can turn it up loud.
Yeah.
On your side of the argument though, and yours, I think I really love it when like, you know, all the instruments sample replacement, drum replacement, where they take all the samples and put them in, and then all of a sudden I can listen to a Born album, and then I can listen to and I don't listen to them, but it's just an example, Emir, and you hear the exact same kick bass on it. Now all of a sudden it's like there's this blending together of things, and I want to hear my kick bass. I want it to stick out.
I want thump.
I want it to have identity, I guess.
Well, and you gotta. I mean, you end up with, and this is a strange example
Kick
because
drums matter.
it's a strange example because Saint Anger was notoriously underproduced. I don't even think intentionally. I just think it was
Just
a piss poor job.
His
But
snare sound like his.
that's
drums,
exactly
they
what
just
I was
sound
going
like
for.
He recorded in a goddamn bathroom. It was the fucking worst sounding drums I've ever
That
heard.
was
in a metal
even though
album.
the album was underproduced, the drums were way overproduced.
Yeah.
It, you know,
Yeah.
if you had told me that was a fucking
A Metallica.
an electronic drum set, I would have believed it completely. You know, like if it was
Yeah,
a fucking
yeah.
drum machine. Why are you pulling on the tablecloth?
I kind
Nothing
of want
but
my
the
stuff to be on
finest.
This is a weird argument because the world's never going to be this way.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I guess it's helping us like kind of identify the line.
The line. Cause I don't know. I don't think I'd like Sepultura if they were like super well put together. I guess. Yeah. Cause like there are certain acts I just wouldn't be able to listen
You want
to.
some bite in some
Yeah.
of your CDs.
Yeah. And sometimes the lower quality, the kind of low budget stuff, like it has that just fucking attitude about it, like, you know. But I don't know. I still want to say I'm probably gonna go with the over.
This is at least as far as metal's concerned. This is metal. Okay?
As far as metal goes, under. Yeah. No. Metal. I want it to be fucking dark and gritty and like have a little bit of. Like a little bit of that going, dude. Fuck yeah!
Every popular like dubstep or hip hop song has fake air in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a skill that I had to teach
fake
myself.
Air.
Like, yeah, and you would do a side chain so that every time it kicks, the goes away, and it's just this constant. It fills out the sound.
You know, it's a beautiful thing. Tape hiss.
It is not a beautiful thing.
Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, what would you choose if it had to be one or the other? Applied across everything. Albums you already know, albums that you're gonna hear in the future, everything ever. Either underproduced or overproduced.
Mm-hmm. With on a scale of what to what though? On a scale of Dream Theater to
Dark Throne.
Oh yeah. Are we going to go Hellhammer demos?
Harsh noise to Born of Osiris.
Oh, those are extremes.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we pretty much said our piece there.
I believe so.
Yeah. So where are we going?
We're going into the pit. All right. So
see how you kept me waiting.
So this week I decided to try and step out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I picked a band that I had heard of before but never really dove into. They're called Maximum the Hormone. They're from Tokyo, Japan, and they kick ass. They're a fucking journey, and I did not give myself nearly enough time to cover everything that they've got.
For fans of the
anime, Death Note. You'll recognize them. They picked up the theme song, I think, from like episode 19 on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they weren't the original theme song.
I don't know if I've heard of them.
That was Nightmare. But
I might have.
Pretty much, if you're a fan of Asian Kung Fu Generation or any other kind of J-rock, you're probably gonna like them.
So they're like the Pillows?
No. Yes.
They are?
Yes and no.
Oh.
Okay.
To a small extent.
They're like
rock and roll.
A part of me almost wants to put them into like an experimental category just because of the fact that
absolutely.
they will jump.
Now, are they visual Kai?
No.
Okay.
No. They're not doing like fucking synchronized dances or anything on stage. They look gritty as shit. The main screamer has these nasty looking dreadlocks and like they kick ass.
In one of their videos, I saw one of them wearing an agoraphobic nosebleed T-shirt.
You know.
And it's awesome. I was really excited when you said you wanted to cover them because they've got a fairly large following.
Yeah.
But it's not so much in the metal community as it is in the anime community.
That is true.
I think most metalheads, especially if you're into a wide variety of genres, or if you're into bands like Boris, this is definitely a band worth checking out.
Even if you're
Boris, they change a lot.
They change every album. They refuse to be pigeonholed. That's why they go from like doom to psychedelic. They had like an almost J-pop album.
Ness bought me that album, the orange one. It's called Hello or something.
Yeah.
Smile. And
it
wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. it was like love songs. And I'm like, all right, it's a Boris CD. I'm good.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I try to see them every time they come to town. But back onto the topic of Maximum.
They're just a really eccentric band. They're kind of all over the place musically. If you're just a fan of Japanese music as a whole, everything from J-pop to like hardcore and shit like that, everything in between, the band, they cover all your bases.
If you like how Between the Buried and Me can go from like bluegrass to jazz to power metal to death metal, it's kind of the same thing. They'll go from ska to almost pop punk to like death metal to hardcore. It's really, really fascinating.
Or if you might even like the way that like System of a Down, or even to a lesser note Mudvayne, can kind of get like a really nice kind of chuggy driving bit with like some slap bass or something going on in the back, and it just adds to the
I don't mean
whole
this in a weird,
groove.
in a bad way, but so it's got like new metal-y feel.
And so, yeah, points
Like real
absolutely.
chuggy,
total
like
wins. They
like,
cover all bases, dude.
Okay.
They're just
It's really it's
like
it's
their
they're-
musical journey. If you have like a month set aside to just listen to shit, fucking do it. They're awesome. Maximum the Hormone, 10 out of 10 would vape.
wood vape.
Yeah, you won't get bored. So Frank,
I listened to Antlers this week, which is a band from Germany which describes themselves as depressive atmospheric black metal.
okay,
Now, when I heard that bit, I was like, all right, I'll take this. And I was like, wait, depressive atmospheric black metal? It's black metal. Better be depressive. Depressive,
yeah,
like-
sure.
Like,
That is a subgenre though. Is depressive black metal.
yes, and so threw it on, and it started off with what you'd expect from a atmospheric black metal album, kind of the droning sections and all that, which sound fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Got some cool, like almost like melodic parts into it, and I was like, I'm digging this, like very cool. Now, upon hearing this, something that I've never heard that I want to hear, kind of break off bit. I want to hear an atmospheric black metal band do that sort of drone style, and then also go to say more like a punky feel with like a Carpathian forest.
Okay.
We're getting all these black metal to
Crossover.
Do it. Give it to me, goddammit.
See, I think I want to at the gates with that ghoul screech, like thrash. I'm sure that exists.
Antlers has your standard black metal scream to it.
Mhm.
Which I'm probably one of my favorite types of screams. But definitely give them a listen to. Like, Antlers from Germany.
Cool.
This week I covered a stranger band called Serious Beak. They released an album on November 3rd. Now, I don't know if this is a word. It's spelled ANKAA. And these guys are an instrumental group that really seems to focus on, and this is my inference, natural rhythmic patterns. Like
Interesting.
stuff you would hear in nature, but it's spasmodic, like mathy groove metal. It's really riffy.
We were listening to this the
The other day while we were playing Magic.
Yeah, yeah.
You fucking nerds.
I'm pretty sure I made the kind of certain sections remind me of like a chilled down Behold the Octopus.
Yes. Not so dissonant in like their runs, but definitely in their rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
It's very disjointed, and at the same time, you can still almost like Meshuggah keep a sort of steady, kind of like a head bop going.
Mm-hmm.
But it's extremely.
So there's a
experimental.
pulse to it.
There is a pulse,
Okay.
but they're almost doing everything they can to break
Disrupt it.
a expected rhythm. It's really great, and it's really kind of out there. So if you're a fan of like progressive, sort of mathy, sort of like groovy metal, absolutely check it out.
Do you remember where they're from by any chance?
These guys are from. They don't say. Is it
Heart
Sydney?
unknown.
Okay.
No. Yeah, Sydney, Australia.
Damn. Did you pick a band from America?
No, I was just gonna say we're getting very international.
Well,
this week.
International
I was gonna say,
episode. Let's go.
Make sure when you look up Antlers, make sure to type in black metal or something like that, because there's like another band from New York that's
They're poppy, right?
They're like an indie rock
Yeah,
band.
you don't want that.
No.
Well, I don't know anything about them, but
from New York, yeah.
straight trash in this band, we don't even know.
You might want that too, but you know.
So Serious Beak is solid. Check that shit out.
Or else.
Cool.
Or else.
So this week I wanted to talk about suicide. Yes, suicide. I'll admit that I was initially drawn by the name because
Really?
it's just one of those fucking names. It's suicide.
Sounds crusty.
It sounds very crusty.
I immediately think of
kind of gooey
like
too.
late 80s, early 90s. And sure enough, they are a straight old school death metal band.
Nice.
I mean, like, still, like, calling back to, like, the early days of, like, still kind of thrashy death metal.
Okay.
Like, this shit, you could justify a circle pit or a fucking push pit, too.
Nice.
Both would work. What the fuck is the name of the album? Oh yeah, so they only have one. They don't have any full lengths as far as I could tell. They have a shitload of splits, a demo, and an EP called "Severing the Mortal Chord," which has some of the coolest fucking artwork I've seen in quite a while.
Cool name. Severing the Mortal Chord.
Severing the Mortal Chord. Probably my favorite song off the EP is called "Dying Threnodies."
Dying what?
Threnodies. Really cool, but they are from Melbourne.
Oh, word.
So,
Is that Australia?
yes.
Got 2 Australian bands, 2 European bands. Or no. 1 European band. I had an Asian band.
But yeah,
Way to be American.
check out suicide.bandcamp.com. Fairly certain all of their shit can be purchased, name your own price,
Nice.
Oh,
which is always cool.
always.
So if you check it out and you like it, throw some money into it. Anything helps the band. It's better than just fucking,
Being a dick.
yeah. They put all this time into making the music. The least you can do is
Not
give
be
them
a
a couple
dick.
bucks if
Send
you
them
like
a
it.
nice box of chocolates.
Maybe. Yeah.
Um,
That might almost be more than the CD.
okay.
I did say nice.
Yeah. It's like a $30 box
Some
of chocolates.
Godiva.
Mm.
Godiva.
Not that cheap ass Russell Stover Christmas game. Fuck you.
Whew.
So we're
Professionals.
moving on.
I think that was a hint, Mel.
Hold on.
Huh?
I gotta get it. Fucking tours.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite segment of the show, because we all know every tour that's going on right now, and we're so excited to talk about them.
All
So,
of them. All of
one-
them.
The ones that's
You have the time for it, too.
really thrilling me is apparently Cradle of Filth is going on tour with Butcher Babies. Now, Cradle of Filth, when I was a young boy,
Wee lad.
was one of my favorites. I loved that shit. And then as time went on, they changed a bit, but I was like, it's still cool. That darkness is still there.
They
We're good.
became the lesser known band Him.
Yeah. It's. Oh God. I'm
Pretty much, right?
I'm sick to my. When I saw that, the rage that filled me almost made me vomit.
I was real happy to show you that.
I know you were.
I don't know what they're calling the tour, but I really hope they call it the fucking Cradle
of
Butchers tour.
Cradle of Babies.
Cradle of Babies.
Cradle of Babies.
Oh, my God.
Wildard!
Now, on the other hand, I was really pumped to find out that Fuck the Facts has announced tour dates. That's some shit.
Yeah, dude.
I'm glad
there's-
you got good news.
I found them both.
I still love that they have an album called Stigmata High Five.
That's good.
I remember really liking them.
Yeah, they're fucking great. Really, really fun shit. What else have we got?
Oh.
Local
Tri-
show. Sorry, let me jam this out real quick.
mm.
My bad. Sunburster, Maggotmouth, Dissent, Garland, Greene, Stories of Living, and Rich People. Again, that's December 18th at Harper's. And again, that's going to be a clothing drive. So, especially like children's clothes are going to be like a necessity.
Bring your drawers.
It's Christmas.
What am I doing with the goddamn draws, Frank? Dream Theater. They are debuting a new album and on a European tour,
Mhm.
which is lame because why can't they do that in the States?
Maybe after.
See, I feel that's more pertinent with the beer releases. Tours, I get it. Tours are tough.
Yeah.
But Sweden's getting all this beer.
Oh, yeah. Should we discuss that real quick?
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Why the fuck not? So,
Fuck these tours.
you know, there's been a whole shitload of metal bands that have released beers. It's nothing new, but it's becoming very, very popular now. Recently, we got the news that both Cannibal Corpse and Slayer would be releasing beers. Very, very excited.
Both American metal bands.
Both American metal bands. Now, Cannibal Corpse, what is it? The Hammer Smashed Ale?
Amber
Smashed Face, that's it. Thank you. That will be released in the States.
That makes sense.
Which is wonderful. Slayer, one of the big four American thrash bands, is releasing their beer exclusively in Sweden.
Yep.
They can go suck off Cradle of Filth.
What they can take a fucking giant hydraulic suck of my shit pipe. What the fuck, dude?
Hydraulic.
That's a cleansing.
It's a purging.
I used to work at a place that would sell that. You did too. Synergix.
Oh, let's not go down that path.
But something new every day.
So then we find out about the Motorhead beer. That I was excited to hear they released a whiskey. Of course, I'm going to be excited to hear they're releasing a beer. I wouldn't have been shocked had they released that in England, being that they're an English band. Would make sense. That's fine. Nope. Sweden.
Nope. So
I don't know what they're doing.
While Slayer is sucking off Cradle of Filth, you can rim them.
Hey, maybe
the whole
this is going to
picture
be a
right now,
test platform and they're just trying it out. But
It
this
better
seems kind of
fucking
crappy.
be.
Getting a
'Cause
little
all we-
metal human centipede thing going on here.
You know there's a
Frank.
third one?
That's the third what? Third.
Human Centipede.
Yep.
The final chapter is section 3 or some shit.
Ron can't wait to get home and watch that shit.
Naked.
Well, this has been From the Pit.
It's,
Like, subscribe.
Comment,
Yes.
do all
Comment.
those things. Share us
With your
with
metal
everyone.
friends. Yeah.
Your metal
need
friends. Share
No,
us with
no,
your.
Give us money.
No, we don't need. I'm not even gonna say
Pay me,
anything
bitch.
about the fact that you're the one begging our fans for money.
I'm not begging. I'm telling him, commanding.
Jesus fuck.
If
No,
you
I'm
wanna
not. That's
host
illegal.
the show with us, and fill in this seat, please write to us.
Right here, this one, right?
And as always, good night, ladies.